here on International Live. And so, Dan, okay, this time thing, you're now an hour ahead of me here in the
I don't
United
know. It's
States?
9:30 p.m. over here in Leicester.
Okay,
So
because it's
so what
usually
time is it where you?
10:30 over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
So am
oh,
I an
just
hour
super
behind? I'm an hour behind now.
freak,
I don't know.
just super freak on the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Oh,
we go back, or we go forward. I don't know which way it's going to be. I think on Friday, at the end of the month anyway, we go. I think we catch up with you or go back to you or whichever way round it is. We'll figure it out. Because you told me what happened last week, I text Marlon and said to him,
yeah,
what's going on for the other show? What time are you guys on?
yeah.
And in the end, it was just simpler for me to text him at 10:30 UK time,
Then it would be.
so he
That's
could so he
right.
could physically see what time the message came through wherever he was.
Yes, because it's
Yeah.
just a oh, and the time zones. I had a guest this week that I was trying to get on this show here and trying to explain to them that they were in another country.
Ray
So I was
Novo, or
trying to explain time zones to them was oh so
yeah.
much fun.
Well, I had to do an interview with somebody in Taiwan today, and they're 8 hours ahead of me.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Wow.
here we go.
Okay. I think we've got our next guest. And Clinton, how are you, sir?
I am wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, actually. The band Stone Senate. Uh,
Yes.
Tell me and the lovely and talented and always exceptionally dressed DJ Dan a little bit about Stone Senate.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on this
Yes.
afternoon and making
Our
time.
pleasure.
And man, Stone Senate's just we started out as just a rock and roll band, and then we kind of got stuck in the southern rock genre. I think it's just because I'm from Nashville, and the other guys are from Meridian, Mississippi. So it ended up being southern guys playing rock and roll, but it's so we're kind of calling it southern rock nowadays.
Has it always been like that in the States? Have you had this sort of divide, so north and south when it comes to rock music?
You know what? Yeah, it always just kind of seemed like that, like all the old classic bands, like the Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner were always, being from the South, they were always kind of considered Southern rock, and then you got I guess your California rock, and then it is kind of divided around like that. But I think overall it's just all rock and roll stuff to me at least.
But the best comes from the south, right?
Right? Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. The old Southern guys here.
How did you get started in this? Again, it was.
We've all played in other bands over the years and stuff, and country bands and in rock bands and stuff. And over about the last 10 or 12 years, we all got together. Short story here. I hooked up with the bass player. We formed the band Stone Senate about 10 or 12 years ago, and when we were putting the other guys together, he ended up bringing his brother in who plays drums, and then they brought in a guitar player that they grew up with and had played in different bands with, named James Edwards. And then the final piece, the fifth member, was Ted Hennington, who was already friends with the other band, with my other bandmates. So it was really cool how it all came together, because we're like a small little family here, and it was really cool. Everything really clicked very easily, and so it was really cool how it all worked out and how it's all come together like that.
Cool.
That's awesome. So Stone Senate. Explain to me and Dan this the name.
Well, originally we were called the Shakes, and when we went to try and trademark it and copyright the name, someone else had already done that with the name. So we figured it'd be best to pick a new name, and we had a list of several options, and I had the idea to call a band just the Senate, and then somebody else had Stone something, as another option. And so we just figured we'd combine the two, and that just kind of stuck, trying to get five guys to all agree on one name and like be very enthusiastic about it is it can be very difficult, and so, but everyone was very cool with the name Stone Senate. And so that's what we stuck with,
Who are your big influences in music? Who do you listen to?
Well, we all listen to a lot of the classic country stuff like the Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard, as well as the Allman Brothers, Leonard, there's even some Motorhead influence in there, and even some kind of 90s grunge stuff like some Soundgarden influence and Little Alice in Chains kind of feel in there, and it's all combined together, because some of this stuff we'll do is almost kind of classic country-esque kind of stuff, and then some of the stuff is pretty hard and heavy, driving kind of heavier Southern rock kind of stuff, I guess, so we kind of go all over the map, but which is cool, because there's a lot of different songwriting influences, between the five of us.
Sure, everyone's got their own favorite artist.
Right.
Yeah. When it comes to making the music and putting the whole track together, how does that work with obviously quite a few people? It's a lot of people, I suppose, want to have their say and input. Or do you have one guy that's just purely focusing on the production, someone else for the lyrics? How does it work?
It's really a team effort, man. We get an idea and just get in the rehearsal room and just bang it out, and just kind of see what fits and what really what I guess however something would end up being smooth and feeling smooth, that kind of thing. But mostly we get in there and just bang it out in the rehearsal room, and we all cut our teeth just by playing as many live shows as we possibly can, so that it's always fun to try something new, at a show and keep your fingers crossed,
When you're recording though, do you record all together as a group, or are you all doing your own bit and instrument separately, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's we cut it all live, and then
oh, cool. Yeah,
it was really cool. Everything is live, and then we overdubbed some of the guitar solos and then the vocals and the harmony vocals and all that stuff, but for the most part it's all live to try and keep it as as tight as possible. We're all in the same room with eye contact and all that stuff, so it's a really cool way of doing it, I think, and it seems to work out pretty good for us.
A lot of the bands we speak to definitely prefer that method when you're all in the room at the same time. And I always ask because it always fascinates me, purely because the amount of microphones the drum man needs, the drum player has normally got about 20 to 50 microphones under the drums, above the drums.
Right.
It's crazy, just wires and microphones everywhere. But yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, I tell you what, one of my favorite parts is getting the drum sounds. I don't know why, man. I'm addicted to hearing, the kick drum and the snare and getting it all tuned in and stuff, with all the microphones and all that. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of that, And I'm not the drummer, but I still enjoy it.
Why not?
Stone Senate with us today here on International Live, and you can get more information on our website at kjagradio.com. We have all the videos from our conversations with the different artists that we feature here on the program. And each and every week, you can listen to us on iHeartRadio and also 990 WBOB in Rhode Island, of all places, on Sundays at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. And you can catch us during the drive time hour on Fridays in Leicester, United Kingdom, 107.5 FM. And so Stone Senate, have you guys ever done any or thought about doing any European tours? Because we've got DJ Dan with us, and he is pretty much God's gift to British music. He can get you in anywhere. He is.
We're overstepping the mark a bit
He,
there, Jiggy.
I always try to pump him up, baby.
It's a radio guy and a DJ. But you know what? When this lockdown's over, the UK will be gagging for bands to get over, especially new bands they've, might not have been, had any exposure to. So yeah, have you got any plans to do anything like that?
You know what? We're definitely going to work on something as soon as the COVID-19 stuff is all wrapped up. We would absolutely love to get over there and play. It's something that we've never done. We've just toured the States here, but man, we would absolutely love to get over to the UK and over to Europe and stuff. And do
well, look, I don't blame you. You guys have got a lot of room out there in the States. It's like traveling to country sometimes, going state to state.
Right.
I've heard, right. And I've only done the West Coast.
So
anyway,
where do you see your guys' music headed? Are you always going to do the same kind of music you're doing now, or have you thought about doing a different style of music?
I think we're going to stick with with what we've been doing. Just mainly just because there's so much different stuff going on in each song. We just did a new record during the pandemic here, and it's 13 songs, and it's like a wide variety, of stuff. It's some pretty hard hitting stuff and some kind of weird spacier kind of stuff, and some almost kind of classic country ish kind of stuff on there. And so there's a little bit of, well, not a little bit of everything, but at least, from the classic country to the, to the rock, I guess, and everything in between there. So, but I think we'll keep trying to master the craft here of what we started with.
Can you just remind me what your last release was and when it came out?
Let's see. The current release is a song called "Slow Crusade." And it went out, I guess, back in February, and that was the second release from this upcoming new album we're doing, or that's coming out.
You got a date for that yet?
You know what? The label folks have not given us a date yet, but I know it'll be later. Excuse me, it'll be later this year. And so. I'm sorry. Go ahead, but.
No. It's late this year, and you'll get in touch with us, I hope, and let us know when that's going to be out.
Absolutely, I'd love to get you guys a copy and stuff, and get your input on it.
Slow Crusade. I assume that's available on Spotify, Apple Music, those sort of places.
It sure is. Yep, all the usual streaming spots and iTunes and all that good stuff.
Do you have Bandcamp? Is that something?
I'm sorry?
Do you use Bandcamp? Is that something you guys use?
You know what? I'm not really familiar with Bandcamp. Not as familiar as I should be with it, but that's definitely a great idea. We need to look into that. Streaming is was kind of a new thing for us. We never had much present up until about 6 months ago, and so now we're really pushing that. Toured extensively as much as possible, and just sold the physical products, the physical CDs and stuff on the road and through our website. So the streaming.
Oh, that's good. So you're still doing the physical copies then? Because all I was going to say was we've had quite a few people on recently that have redirected us to Bandcamp, but purely because that's where they sell the physical items. But if you guys have got a label and a website, then you're doing it yourselves, I assume.
Yeah, I tell you what, well, I'm definitely going to look into Bandcamp, though. I've heard different things about it, and everything I've heard has been really cool stuff, And so I appreciate you bringing that up. That's definitely something to look into.
So with you guys selling the music and physical CDs and everything on the road, are you finding that harder and harder to move that product, or do people still want to have something to hold in their freaking hand?
Yeah. You know, I guess it kind of depends on which part of the country we're in. Uh, but for the most part, I think people still want to have something, something physical, physical that they can hold in their hand, and whether it's a CD or vinyl, or anything like that, but I guess this way you get the best of both worlds with the digital stuff, and then you also have your physical copies and stuff, for the old school people, with the CD players still, I guess.
Oh, listen, I'm just going to trump you guys and go even older school, because literally a couple of weeks ago I bought an album and I paid a bit more because I wanted the physical copy, but I got the tape. I don't know if you can see that. Do you remember tapes?
Yes,
Yeah,
I love tapes like crazy, my friend.
do.
I
Absolutely.
really missed the sound of a tape. Seriously, I just don't know why. Because I grew up listening to tapes, or CDs, I assume, but I think it's a real good sort of opportunity. Back up your digital sales with a physical copy, give someone something to hold in their hand, charge them a bit more, and they're more than happy normally to pay to have something physical, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Those cassette tapes are cool, man. I've seen a few different bands bringing those back, which is really cool.
Mm.
That
And
is that is
it's just
awesome.
a good idea, good marketing.
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely.
So Stone Senate. I guess as we wrap up here with you, where do you see the band going once the whole pandemic thing's over with and you guys can start playing music and getting everything going again? Are you sitting on, like, 5 or 6 CDs that you've recorded? Because we've had various bands on here that Dan has figured out by chatting with a lot of these folks that they've just got music stockpiled.
Yeah, I was listening to was it Luna 13? The
Yes,
first
Yeah.
guys
yes,
had on. They said they've been doing a bunch of new music and stuff, and uh, really over the pandemic, we just kind of focused on this one new album, but here soon enough, before the year's up, we'll definitely be making plans to go in and do another album as well, but
yeah,
really we're itching to get back out and do some live stuff. We
Yeah.
a few little private parties and stuff during the pandemic, around Florida and Texas and the Carolinas and stuff. But our first big run, post pandemic was Daytona Beach Bike Week, which was 7 nights.
Oh,
that's
man.
So
Is that when everyone comes out on the choppers and the Harleys?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild down there. It's a great time, man. But so after being down there, I'm really just really excited about getting back out on the road. We always just try and play live as much as humanly possible. So that's kind of how we were trying to build the band, and kind of the grassroots kind of thing. Just touring and trying shake as many hands as we can, and build the audience kind of like that. So I think you know
great. That's great. That's
Great.
great. Well,
Uh, Are
I
you on places like? Sorry,
no, 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 no. Go ahead. Go
sorry,
ahead, my friend.
Jiggy.
Go ahead.
I was just wanted to check again where we can find you on Instagram and Facebook, and what's the handle?
Oh, it's Stone Senate on Instagram, and Facebook is Stone Senate Band, and then we have our website is stonesenate.com, and then we're on all the streaming spots, and iTunes, and Amazon Music and all that stuff too. So
That's great.
Sorry, Jiggy, go
No,
for it.
no, no, no. You're good. You're good. So Stone Senate. When you guys go out there on the road and everything, you guys have got a lot of great fans. You've put a lot of time in. What are people saying about, I guess especially on social media nowadays, about some of your tunes? Because you've got this Whiskey Helps that has got like 100,000 plays or whatever on Spotify.
Oh yeah,
Does help.
you know, but we're getting really great response. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh,
No, I'm getting some really terrible lag. My
Yeah.
apologies. It's my
Yeah.
end. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
already, man. We're getting great responses for the new music. We're playing a lot of this new record live, you know, and it's great, man, to hear all the responses and stuff. We haven't gotten any negative responses yet, but you know, I guess it's still early in the game. Hopefully we won't hear any negative responses, but, you know, but for the most part, man, I think everybody's pretty upbeat about it, you know.
Awesome. Well, we are going to do this. We are going to play Whiskey Helps, and I appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for doing this, my friend. This has definitely been fun.
Man, I thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all's time and everything.
Definitely. Well, we are going to play Whiskey Helps, and then when we come back, me and Dan will wrap things up here. But thanks for joining us, my friend, and thanks for talking to us about Stone Senate.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, guys. Very nice to see you both.
Thank you,
You
my
too.
friend. There he goes, and we are going to play Whiskey Helps, and it's here on International Live.
I wasn't born to lose, but I've done a lot of losing. I live the life I choose, but it's handed me a bruising. I don't go looking for fights, but I've done my share of fighting. Between the dark and the light, Lord, I just keep a trying. I've learned my lessons along the way. Making it double, 'cause all I can say is whiskey helps when your heart is hurting. I'm just going with what's been working. I feel nothing at all, or I feel like hell. I've been down and I get the feeling something's up with the cards that they're dealing. Everybody's on me to try something else, but for now, whiskey helps. You put your heart on the line, looking for a silver lining. You end up wasting your time. It's all choices, luck, and timing. But you give it a try. When you're bone dead, tired of trying, you can't help but believe that everybody's lying. It picks you up and it throws you down. You better live for another round, 'cause whiskey helps when your heart is hurting. I'm just going with what's been working. I feel times when your heart is hurting, I'm just going with what's been working. I feel nothing at all, feel just like hell. Up and down and I get the feeling something's up with the cards that they're dealing. Everybody's on me to try something else, but for now it whiskey helps. Whiskey helps.
That is Whiskey Helps, and it is International Live. We are going to go back to DJ Dan here in just a few moments here on the old International Live. And it's like he knew the song was over, and he called me. And then I got to call him back because that's how this works, apparently. He knew the show was almost over. There we are. Okay, so Dan, we have had today some interesting guests. Give me your wrap up on some of the folks we